Okay, so look, I know I say this every time. I know I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been a long time.
I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two, step two, step two.
In my defense, life is life. So I'm just gonna say, here I am, I'm back, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna be okay. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been feeling, and I think it's because my specialty with my clients is bridal and special event, and a lot of those eye looks are very similar. But lately for myself, I have just been feeling like the bold, big, boom, in your face colors. So that's what I did today. So if you're like me and you have been feeling, or you're already super into big, bold eyeshadow looks, duh, keep on watching. But before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, without further ado, let's go. So I am starting off by priming my eyelids with concealer, and I'm using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer in the shade C12, and just blending that out with a damp beauty blender. And following that, I am using the Sacha Buttercup powder mixed with the RCMA No Color powder for a good base for my eyeshadow. So I'm starting off in the crease, just building up the transition shades until I get it to the point that I want. And for my transition shades, I am using the Morphe 3502 palette, and I'm slowly building up the browns, and I'm making sure that I leave my crease and the transition shades nice and warm, because that blue that I'm going in with is really electrifying, and I want to make sure that the warm browns complement it. So you will see me continue to build up until my crease is nice and defined. And just as a random side note, I am going to leave a link down in the description box about the last video that I posted, which is about my Sephora squad application, why I want to join the squad, and how you can support your girl. So before I go in with any kind of shimmer shades, I first want to create a really good base for my shimmer shades to go on top of. So I've now switched palettes from the 3502 palette to the Morphe Dare to Create palette, and I'm using the deep blue matte shade to create a good base, and then I'm going ahead and buffing that out after I lay that base down, because I still want to make sure that the base is nice and blended. So I'm using some browns and then some purples to go ahead and diffuse that matte shade before I go in with the shimmer shade. So the shimmer shade that I'm using is still from the Morphe Dare to Create palette. I did start out with the Naked Cosmetics Loose Pigment, but that was just a hot freaking patchy mess, and you will see it get better in 3, 2, 1. Woo, baby. Now we're cooking with gas. So you'll see me just go back and forth with that shade. I did try to dip in one more time to the Naked Cosmetics Loose Pigment and Heavy Metal, but it just was not working out. So I went back to the Morphe Dare to Create Shimmer Blue shade, and you will see me go back and forth with that and then blend it out just to make sure that everything's nice and seamless one last time. Then I'm going to go ahead and clean up under my eyes with some micellar water, and I'm going in with some Lancome mascara, the Moseur Big, I believe it's called. Then I apply my lashes. Forgive me because I forget the name of the lashes, but I know that they were Kiss Faux Mink Couture. And I'm priming my face with the Lancome La Base Pro. And to cover up the dark spots on my neck, first I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 50 Cafe. And then I'm going in with the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation in the shade 24 Golden, just to cover those spots up on my neck before I go in with my foundation. And the foundation that I'm using is the Lancome 24-Hour Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade 460 Suede. So I'm patting that all around my face and then buffing it out with a large brush, and then going over it with a damp beauty blender just to make sure that everything looks nice and airbrushed on my skin. And then I'm going in with the same concealers that I used in the beginning of the video, and I'm mixing the Makeup Revolution and then the Maybelline foundation to get my perfect highlight shade, and then once again I'm patting that out with a damp beauty sponge. I am obsessed with cream contouring. So for my cream contour, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in the shade F15. And then I am applying that everywhere that I want my face nice and snatched, honey. Yes. And I like to go back in just once more to pat everything out before I go ahead and set my face with powder. And I'm still using a wet beauty sponge to set my face with powder. And I'm using the Sacha Buttercup mixed with the RCMA No Color Powder. The Sacha is too yellow, the RCMA is too white, so the mix is absolutely perfect. And to set the rest of my face, I am going in just with a large powder brush with that same powder mix. And to contour, I'm using the City Colors contour palette, and it's just one that I got in an Ipsy bag. Nothing special. I have no idea where it's from, no idea where to order it. I am so sorry, but I'm just going over that cream contour. And for my blush, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour blush in the shade Feisty, and it's beautiful. And then I like to sculpt out my contour just to make sure that my cheekbones look nice and snatched. So again, using the same powder combination, snatching that out, and then I'm going in with my highlight. And for my highlight shades, I am mixing the Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Hollywood Boulevard from the Fergie collection, and then the Makeup Forever Profusion highlighter to get my ideal glow. So I did my brows off camera. To do my brows, I did the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. And now I am dusting off that cheekbone snatch, honey, yes. And for my bottom waterline, I am using an Essence liner in, of course, the shade White. Then I'm going to go ahead and smoke out the bottom lash line. And to do this, I'm really just using the transition shades from Start all the way to the deepest shade that I used, which is black, but I kept that black just right on the outer corner. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going back in with that Fergie highlighter just to make the eyes pop. And for the mascara, I am using the Lancome Moseur Big one more time just to make everything nice and defined. Now I have two different lip options. The liner that I'm using for both of them is the NYX Dark Brown Lip Liner. And the lip color that I'm going in with is the Soft Matte Lip Cream by NYX in the shade Abu Dhabi. So that is the first natural lip. And if you prefer something a little bit more bold, the second shade that I go in with is the Kylie Liquid Lipstick in the shade Clove, but I top it off with the NYX Gloss in the shade Praline. So here is the bold for the win, honey. Yes! So this is the completed look. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Again, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this look. And let me know down in the comments some other things that you would like to see. So I don't really know how to close. So bye.